you because you ain't got no money to scam. I got Negroes saying Dr. Umar is scamming and they ain't got no money to scam. You the brokest Negro on my Instagram live talking about stop scamming people. And you the, but how I'ma scam you? You got 2 quarters and 3 nickels in your damn pocket talking about stop scamming. How can a broke man complain about getting scammed, brother?
Welcome back to The Fix, where we break down the mess behind the madness. So boom, I'm vibing at the crib, scrolling through YouTube minding my business, right? Then out of nowhere, this video pops up on my feed, and guess who it is? None other than the Pan-African panhandler himself, back on the digital streets, begging for donations. Yup, Dr. Umar Johnson, live from some random spot in Africa, looking dusty in a dusty rental, talking about he broke like sir again. You're sitting in a foreign country whipping around in someone else's car, rocking borrowed Wi-Fi, and the only thing on your mind is cash at me now. And the way he said it with that same serious look, like the ancestors just gave him permission to beg again, was wild. You'd think after all these years the donation hustle would have slowed down, but nope. Not Umar.
Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. This is your big brother, Dr. Umar Ifa Tunde Oguntade, Intercontinental Ifa Tunde RBG.
Now, when did Jesus get added to the branding? Like, I must have missed the rebrand rollout where we went from Pan-African Prince to Dr. Umar Jesus Johnson. Make it make sense. 1 minute it's hotel lectures, next minute he's out here invoking the Lord mid-beg. I'm like, did Jesus co-sign the Cash App link to—
Very important announcement. I'm only going to keep you a few minutes. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple dollars. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple dollars. I logged into my account just to check my balance because I haven't done so since I left for South Africa back on July 10th. Only to discover that I could not log into my account. So then I called the bank to find out what was going on. And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account. The bank that I've been with since I was a teenager told me they had no record of my account. So then I called the bank, and the bank told me that my personal account, as well as the independent Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy account, have both been frozen.
Hey yo, welcome back to The Sauce, your #1 source for wild celebrity antics and internet drama, so check it. I'm vibing at the crib chillin', scrolling, and BOOM, a new video drops. And who pops up? None other than the Pan-African Prince of PayPal himself, Dr. Umar, sitting in some dusty rental in Africa, talking about how he's broke and begging for donations like it's Sunday offering time. Like again, come on bruh. Oh, and here's where it gets extra spicy. If y'all missed the mess, let me get you caught up real quick. So apparently, about a month ago, Umar gets online talking about this woman he used to mess with. Said she smelled like fish. Yup, fish. Tuna Chronicles. He threw out names like Medadia, Lens Stacks, Stone, Fishy, Coochie Queen, the whole seafood platter, claimed they linked up a few times in a hotel room, and somehow she used the sexcapade as a heist to tap into his bank accounts. Bro, this ain't Ocean's 11. Meanwhile, Medadia wasn't having it. She clapped back hard on Tasha K, dragging Umar's life through every dusty corner of the internet. Said he a hoarder. Said his house looks like a busted storage unit. Said that's why he's always live streaming from random spots. But she wasn't done. She said it wasn't about him smashing or not smashing, it was about black folks waking up. Called him a financial predator. Said he's been pimping the culture for 11 years. And y'all still ain't got a school with working lights. Hugh, spicy.umar, of course, had his response ready. Tokan about if Medadia and Pastor Bussy had anything to do with this bank fraud, they will be sued, it's a federal offense. Bro was repeating that line like it was a sermon. July 10th, June 25th, South Africa, PayPal, Apple Pay. All the dates were flying and none of the facts were landing. Said his account's frozen. No digital currency. So now he out here with his spiritual begging bowl, asking loyal supporters to hit him on Apple Pay or PayPal. Like we forgot the last 10 donation drives. But it got worse. Dr. Umar said, he don't got any sons, only daughters, so this is a selfless mission. And I'm like, sir, the only mission you're on is to crowdsource your lifestyle. Talking about he's never asked for $1 for himself. Meanwhile, the Cash App been ringing like Sunday morning bells. PayPal.me/UMAR psychologist. 215 to 980, 9858. We know it by heart now, and then the comments went crazy. One person was like, peace and scam Africanism, brothers and sisters. Another one said, so the bank didn't notify him and he ain't check his account for weeks? Yeah, okay. Somebody else dropped he never asked for money. That was the first thing he did. And the closer the ancestors hacked his account. Karma coming from every direction. Brr, not the ancestors playing tech support. And now he's talking about he gonna apply for a certificate of occupancy? For a building that ain't had lights since Obama's first term? Wi-Fi? No power. But he worried about the internet bill. School ain't open, but the donation portals stay open, y'all. We need to have a real conversation. Drop a comment if you think this saga has officially jumped the shark. Hit that like if you're tired of the begging marathon, and share it so your auntie who still believe in FDMG can finally let it go. This was The Sauce. Catch y'all on the next one. I'm lost, y'all. Can somebody help me understand what in the bankruptcy hell is going on with Dr. Umar? Because baby, he's out here broke. Like filed for bankruptcy. Can't pay the bills broke. And acting like everything's fine. But the internet is connecting the dots. And the math ain't. Mathing, they said the first FDMG donation came out of St. Louis, right? Spring of 2014? But if we dig deeper, this donation timeline goes way back. So let's get this straight. Donations start flowing in 2014. Okay, cool. Fast forward, he raised about $750,000. Allegedly then almost 2 years ago. He supposedly bought 4 buildings for $400,000. Not 2, for 4 schools. But where's the rest of that money? Where did the other $350,000 go? And why are we still waiting for doors to open like it's an exclusive club? 6 years and no grand opening? That's wild. People aren't just curious, they're suspicious. Because let's be real, 6 years of donation drives and the buildings still look like haunted houses. The community wants transparency, but instead, all they get is Umar dodging real questions. People are asking not haters, but real donors, and apparently he blocks them, denies them, calls them liars. So now the red flags are starting to look like a damn parade. Then he really had the nerve to say the community is to blame for the school not opening. Hold up, what? The same people who gave you their money are the problem now? This man went from support our boys to blame the people real quick. And let's not forget, he sat down with Lord Jamar back in 2019 talking about it like the timeline made sense. But we've got receipts from 2010, not 2014. So, explain how 2010 to 2019 equals 6 years. Nah, we ain't buying it. The man said back in 2010 that he'd start laying the groundwork for the school and it would open in 2013. Grand opening, the 11th of September 2013. Remember that? But now we're in 2025, and guess what? Still nothing. Dr. Umar doing math like Jaden has $1, 1 quarter, and 2 pennies. How much money does he have? Jaden broke, just like Umar. And if you were Jaden's math teacher, would you pass him? Be honest. And now, word. On the street is that Umar. I mean, Jermaine Shoemake can't even access his money anymore. Karma, moving quick. One of the women who used to help him out, she's now telling it all on TikTok and YouTube. Talking about he ain't nothing but a con artist and how she was helping him take care of his alien-looking mama. And guess what? Sis was a nursing aide, not a journalist, not a lawyer, a nurse. And she's the one exposing him in 2025. This man done finessed the entire culture for years and y'all still handing him money like it's reparations? But that clock running out, that lie can't last forever. And if you still blindly supporting this man after all these years and all these receipts, maybe you're the one who needs saving. Y'all really fell for it. Even though it's been floating around for years, that Dr. Umar don't even speak to his daughters, like full-on deadbeat dad energy. And that's the worst kind of man to me. The one who preaches black love, but ghosts his own kids. He snowballed y'all into that conscious king fantasy. And now, here he go again. Hopping online, talking about his money locked up and he can't access his funds. And I guarantee you some gullible fool cashed him out before midnight. But let me tell you who the real MVP is. That sister who pulled up and said, Dr. Umar, you ain't gone, scam nobody else on my watch. She spilled all the tea and dragged him into the sunlight where that broke energy had nowhere to hide. Meanwhile, everything she said lined up with what Charleston White been saying. Charleston said it plain. I've been doing this work in the community for 12 years, and I never asked for $1. And he's not lying, he said. I sold barbecue. I sold merch. I even sold fake pills with caffeine and M, but I ain't never begged my people for a dime. But Dr. Umar begging been his brand. Charleston White even said, my pops told me the strongest man don't gotta ask nobody for nothin'. Meanwhile, Umar out here still begging, still panicking, still making excuses. And Charleston said it flat out, Umar ain't just weak in the pockets. He weak for the ladies too. He said it himself. Umar's a sucker for the coochie. Everywhere he goes, he chasing skirts like it's a full-time job. Charleston was like, I'm a player. He a simp. That's the difference. He said when Umar sits down, everybody in the room already know what time it is. He ain't no king. He's a couch-surfing clown. The receipts don't lie. And after Umar admitted online that he was broke and stranded in Africa, the memes came flying. One woman hopped on TikTok like, don't worry y'all, I just signed Umar up for Meals on Wheels. Said if he's really that broke, folks should stop sending money directly and just donate to the senior citizen food program on his behalf. Hit the PayPal y'all. We gone. Get him fed. The internet is undefeated. And I ain't mad at it either. He spent years eating off donations. Now let him eat off the Meals on Wheels menu. But look, let me be clear. I believe in community. I believe in helping people when they're really struggling. We've all had hard times, but let me also say this. You can do whatever you want with your money. But I'm damn sure not giving a single coin to Dr. Umar. And here's why. This man got online crying about some woman accessing his bank info. But instead of going to his bank like a grown man, he logged into Instagram and started talking about her pH balance. Yes, instead of protecting his assets and calling fraud prevention like a responsible adult, he was making shady posts about feminine hygiene. That's where the donations are going. Petty internet drama. And now that his account's allegedly frozen, he wants the black community to fund his survival like he's some conscious GoFundMe project. Sir, we are not your retirement plan, especially not when you fumbled it yourself. Now, let's pretend for a second that the breach really happened. That means the bank is investigating, right? So, the smart move would be to sit back and let that process happen. But Umar out here, doing live streams and soft begging for cash, like he on a damn telethon. That ain't leadership. That's manipulation. And at this point, it's giving more scammer vibes than savior vibes. Period. Look, if Dr. Umar really needed help, what he should have been doing was applying for a loan like a grown man. That way, when his account finally reopens, he could pay folks back, right? But funny enough, he never mentioned paying anybody back. Not once. And that was the first red flag. Now here comes red flag number 2. Umar is over 50 years old, and you expect me to believe he only got one bank account? Just one? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's the type who keeps all his money in one place? Cool. But here's where it gets fishy. This man claims to be a longtime certified school psychologist, which means he'd be enrolled in the public school employees retirement system in Philadelphia. That's right, SERS. And SERS allows educators to borrow from their retirement if they're ever in need. So why hasn't he? If Umar really was who he says he is, he'd still have access to his own retirement funds legally. All he'd need to do is log off Instagram, stop the begging, and fill out a form online. And boom, they'd cut him a check from his own savings. But he didn't do that. So now I'm asking the same question everyone else is asking. How the hell does the Prince of Pan-Africanism not have a credit card? Not even a damn Chime or Rush card. You're telling me this man got no backup cash, no debit, no credit, no retirement plan, and not one friend or family member who can float him $200? Really? So he jumped online again, asking you for money? Not his mama, not his brother, not one of them hotel groupies he's always laid up with. Nah, he went straight to the internet to guilt trip the culture. Y'all, please stop falling for this. We gotta wake up in 2025, for real. And just when you thought this couldn't get any wilder, we take a hard left turn, because now they got this weird little segment going on where someone starts asking if baths are even necessary. What? Yes, baths are necessary. Just like salt belongs in the sea and honey comes from bees. But somehow, this turned into a rant about February being the shortest month because it gives black people one less day to take a bath. I can't make this up. And suddenly we're in deep soak therapy territory, talking about how black folks don't take time to sit in a tub and detox their mental minds. Like what? Then they start blaming white people for making showers popular. Look, not everything is a conspiracy. Sometimes it's just water and soap. The whole rant went off the rails so hard I forgot we were talking about Umar's bank account. But here we are. Still broke, still confused. Anyway, let me know what you think about Dr. Umar claiming the media stole his money and now wants yours. Sound off in the comments. I want to hear what y'all really think. And while you're down there, hit that like button, subscribe, and send this video to someone who's still donating to the school that never was. This is The Sauce, your plug for real celebrity chaos. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.